Hello everybody, welcome back. I am working on this piece that I am going to put on the back of my jacket as part of the Roxy Creations Journal of Stitchery Volume 5 Month 2. And it's almost the end of February. I'm not going to embellish this a lot. I decided that because it's going to be on the back of a jacket, the fabric really does speak for itself. As someone said in one of the comments, she likes the fabric alone. However, I do want to embellish it some. So I did do some thread painting in the leaves under the hydrangeas. Look, I remember the name of the flower. Give me a medal. I did these two leaves here. I may do the rest of them. And I kind of like that the leaves don't overpower the flowers, but I feel like hydrangeas are such a soft, pretty, full flower that I don't think stitching would really enhance it any for me. I did get all of the pieces stitched down with little tiny stitches. Hopefully, if I have to wash this jacket, I mean, you know, you don't wash jackets as often as you wash your regular clothes, right? I don't. So I also yesterday thread painted the butterfly. So I hope that shows up well. I had fun doing it, except black on black. I literally had to have the light this far away from the sewing. So I was sitting here and I had the light like right here, which is like 2 inches from the fabric, and I'm like trying to get it. I did bullion stitches here on the top, and then I just stitched kind of out this way with the black stitches around the edges of the rest of it. And then the lines in the fabric, I just followed those, whatever the person who designed the fabric did, and did purple in the center. And I like the way it came out. I'm not going to do this flower. Very high possibility that I'm going to do some stitching on this flower with these colors here. But I do want to do the dragonfly because I just love the dragonflies. And it sort of fades into the back of the fabric. So I am going to work on that today on camera, and we'll see how that goes. Pull up a project. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's always fun to hang out and see whose needle comes unthreaded and who's, you know, going to really stab themselves a million times. I did burn my hand last night, so I apologize for the ugliness of that. It is what it is. I had it covered overnight with cream, and I'm letting it air out a little bit today. I don't know how I continue to burn myself. Well, I do. I have a little toaster oven. Excuse me. I haven't spoken a whole lot today, so I'm getting my voice warmed up. La 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 la. Oops. Yeah, nobody wants to hear Martha sing. Trust me. I hope this finds you all well, and I thank you for being here. I'm sure you may have better places to be, but if you're stitching and you want to hang out, I'm glad you're joining me. So I spent about, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes choosing threads and beads, because you know I have to add some beads if it's a dragonfly. I must include beads. So we will see how this goes. I'm using I don't know if you can see the little tiny stitches from when I sewed this on. You know, the smaller the piece, the harder it is to stitch it on and not have the stitches show. So yeah, I spent hours stitching these pieces down because I wanted to make sure that they would not come off if I have to throw this into the washer. And I wanted to make sure that there's enough holding it down, since I'm not going to be embellishing the entire thing with threads. And so the good news is, if something does come up, hey, I know the person who put this on the back of the jacket, so I can always have her fix it, right? Since that's me. Oop, tummy's growling. I apologize if you can hear that. Hopefully not. Over the washer going in the background. And I'm working on this video a little earlier in the day than I normally do. I'm way behind making videos, and I do apologize for that. It's just been, I've had a problem with motivation, I'll be honest. And so I've worked on this, and I've worked on Stitch the Season. And I'm enjoying both of those projects. I just haven't picked up anything new. I have a couple of ideas of things I want to start. I just haven't done it yet. You know, again, it's been a motivation thing, but I'm a little tired of being cold. I have goosebumps right now. Chicken skin, but goosebumps. And I just am tired of the cold. And it's funny because we don't live in a way northerly climate. We live in Virginia, and it just feels like it's been a colder winter than normal here. So February is a tough month for me. January and February typically are tough months for me. And even if I use my special light, and I, which I haven't really a whole lot this year, I should, but I don't pull it out a whole lot. But even if I do that, or I sit, we have two rooms that have a lot of sun, the bedroom and the sunroom, appropriately named. And even if I sit in there, you know, while the sun is shining in there, I'm still having a tough time. We go out occasionally. I don't go out every day. But when we go out, I'm usually on the side of the car that catches the sun when we're out. And even that doesn't always help. I'm just ready for February to be over. So, yeah, there's that. And I'm sure many, many of you, if you're further north than I am, and you've had a long winter, I'm sure you're pretty much over it as well. So this is a very pretty springy type green. And I just thought I'd pull this through. And I think this will just help the dragonfly stand out a little bit. I'm not using every single color that's in this wing, but I will. I'd have been smarter to start from this end and work in instead of out, but hey. That's the way it goes sometimes, right? Okay. Then I wouldn't have had to tie it off and start over again. Oops. So as I'm filming this, it is Monday, and excuse me, it is sunny, and it is supposed to be in the 60s today. So I am very much excited about that. So maybe that's why I'm a little more motivated today. And I don't have much thread left on this, but I don't want to waste it either. So I'm just going to start this other part over here. I think I'll work my way in. As you can see, some of this fabric is fraying. So even if the ends fray, this should help it stay on the jacket at least. Oops, don't want that. It is so nice just stitching through very light fabric. As I said previously, I am very much used to stitching with batting, or as some of you call it, wadding, or a heavier fabric behind if I'm doing beading, like heavy beading, like on my hearts. Yeah, I double that fabric, or I put a heavier canvas type fabric behind, and it's been so nice just stitching on very light fabrics without a lot of layers behind them. I got quite a few stitches out of that little bit of thread that was left on that needle. Okay, time to tie this off in the back. We went, what I started to say was, today's Monday. We went yesterday, which was Sunday, and I believe it was the 25th of February. And we went and picked up the pieces from the art center. I went a few other places, and we, come on, Martha, I believe. So we went there, and we went to a grocery store and picked up a few groceries. Went to J.C. Penney and looked at women's clothes. That's not the needle I want. This is the needle I want. Sorry, just getting my needle threaded with fresh thread. And I found one top that I liked, brought it home, fit me very nicely. So now there's a lot of sort of whitish light blue in here, but I really like this green. So I'm just going to enhance the this very pale color in here. I'm just going to use the green. Or, well, I left it there too, so I'm just going to pull this in like this, match the other side more or less, and then I'll throw in a another color in there. I think I chose, well, I have some pale blue, some pale purple, lilac. Lilacish. And I'm not being very particular, really. I just want it to look textured. I'll do a couple more here, sort of blend it a little better. Oops. There were some really awesome, there have been, I should say, really awesome things shown on Facebook of what people have made for their wearables. And of course, Corinne did her denim jacket, and it came out beautiful. Love all the crocheted lace around the the front of the jacket and the bottom of the jacket. I actually thought about cutting the bottom of my jacket off, that very bottom placket. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I kind of like where it hits me. It hits me just in the center of my booty. Yes, I said booty. And, you know, when it's chilly, that's a nice place for it to hit. But if I want to get more wear out of the jacket, I would probably wear it if it was a little bit shorter. I'm pretty short, and a lot of times things fit me oddly. Oops. I don't know where that came from, but we're going to put that over there. Okay. More green. And then we'll do some lilac. So there's a brand, and I haven't been in JCPenney in maybe a yearish or so. And boy, it was quiet in there. They'll be the next store to go. We lost Sears. Sears has gone out of business. And Macy's is Macy's gone? I can't remember if Macy's is gone or not. I was never a big Macy's shopper. And we have Belk. And we have JCPenney in that mall. And it was quiet. The people were amazingly friendly, the associates, the sales associates, and they all said hello, and they all asked if we needed anything, but not in a way that was annoying. Like, they didn't follow us around and say, let me help you find something. But they were all like, do you need any help? Nope, thank you. And the lovely lady that checked us out spoke to us and asked if we needed anything else or found everything we wanted. I said, well, I'm just shopping around. Just, I lost some weight in the last year or so, and it's been 2 years really. And I said, I just need some new summer tops. And she said, yeah, I lost some weight too. I lost 40 pounds, most of it from chemo. And she caught me off guard, and I said, I'm very sorry you had to go through that. I said, are you doing okay now? And she said, yeah, she has to have scans every 3 months. I don't know what kind of cancer she had. And, but she was working, she was smiling, she was healthy looking, and she had lost weight. And she had to buy new clothes too. And I shared with her that I had gone through cancer in 2021. And she asked how I was doing. It was very wonderful. And we fist bumped and said, you know, stay strong. And I told her she's a warrior because I didn't have to go through chemo, thank God. And so, yeah, it was amazing to share that moment with her and to see such friendly, smiling people. I can't tell you the last time I walked into a store and people were friendly and smiling and saying hello. Every register we walked by had somebody at it, and they all said hello, how are you? I mean, I can't even tell you the last time I walked in a store and had that happen. Any store. Whether it be a clothing store, I'm going to try and squeeze one more stitch in here. Whether it be a clothing store, a grocery store, or anything, I can't tell you. I mean, it's been since before the pandemic, people were that friendly. People are just not that friendly anymore. Okay, had to turn the camera off and clear my throat. That was just too much. So yes, it was extremely pleasant to speak to people who were being pleasant and nice and friendly, and it was amazing. And it'll be sad if that store closes as well. It's really sad because a lot of stores are closing. They just don't have the customer base that they used to have. And I mean, they were well stocked and they were carrying all their brands. Kohl's, we have Kohl's, not in the same, it's not in that shopping center, it's across the road. But Kohl's has stopped carrying Croft and Borrow, as far as I can tell. And that's one of the brands that I liked in there. And I read recently that a lot of the stores are paring back their brands and so forth. And that they're just going, like, Kohl's and Walmart have both started carrying like name brand, like Champion, Adidas, or however you're supposed to say it, and Reebok and stuff like that. And I don't buy brand name stuff like that. I just don't. First off, it's typically not my style. And secondly, I just don't need to spend that kind of money. I'm not a big clothes hog. I like my variety of pullover t-shirts that I wear. And I've been wearing pullover t-shirts and jeans since I was old enough to dress myself. I have a picture of when we were at a family reunion in Maine, and I think I was 14 or 15, maybe. I don't think I was 16 yet. And I'm sitting there in a t-shirt and jeans, just like I do now. So, yeah. That's just my style. Of course, now around the house I wear leggings, because why not? Stretch pants? Yes, please. Okay, we're almost done with this green. And I didn't look at the time, so I have no idea how much time I have left. But I'm just going to work on this dragonfly today. It's just what it is. I'm not as talented as some people and jump around from one part to another if there's a lot of stitching involved. Now, as I said, the other stitching I plan on doing is not going to be quite this heavily thread painted. I just want to highlight a few things. So, there. I think I got all the green done. Now I'm doing the body in beads, because why not, right? All right. I have this really pretty lilac. This is so pretty. One of my favorite colors. And bless my husband, he was trying to be helpful yesterday, and he said, "Why are you looking at an extra large shirt? You're not an extra large anymore." And I said, "Well, depends on the brand, depends on the make, depends on the shape of the shirt. I don't like, in the summer, in the warm weather, I do not like extremely tight-fitting clothing. I have hot flashes. My metabolism is really messed up. I think I need to turn this sideways so I'm not flipping a lot. And I'm going on the outside edge of this fabric here because I want it to, help hold the fabric down on this edge. I said, it all depends. And I don't want this, oh shoot, I didn't pull it out good. I don't want it to be real tight fitting, so I said, I'm just going to get this and we'll take it home, and if I don't like the way it fits, I'll bring it back. So he was like, okay. Oh, Martha, stop doing that. I get my hand caught in this loop and pull the thread. And, that's annoying. especially if you end up unthreading stuff. I did it again. Darn it. Urgh. Oh, no, 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 don't pull tight. Don't pull tight. I pulled too tight on the butterfly and it ended up being a little puckered. So I had to do a lot of stretching of the fabric to get it to lay a little flatter. So I have to be very careful here. Now I am doing this in a different direction than I did the green part, so I'm trying to sort of work my way back into that direction by coming across more parallel and not so vertical. Oh, shush, tummy. Shush. Shush, tummy. I decided I'm not going to eat until I have sort of my breakfast around 11. And then I think I'm going to eat my dinner around 3. And I'm trying to forego breakfast because I am trying to drop some more weight. I've been stuck at a weight for quite a while. I just had to check and make sure I turned the camera back on. Goodness gracious, I scared myself. And with the warmer weather, I'm going to get out and walk a little bit. I have a lot of trouble walking because of arthritis in my feet and my knees and my hip. So pounding pavement, not always a great thing for me to do. Well, I sort of feel like I messed up this stitching, but I'm okay with it. It's going to be okay. It's all right. It'll be fine. I can either pull it out or go over it after I get off camera and decide what I want to do. Okay. Yeah, it's messy, but I'm going to leave it, at least for now. Whoa, where'd that long thread come from? Well, that's not good. I didn't even pull that thread through to the knot when I started it. Oh, well, I'll fix that after too. Okay, and yeah, so shopping for clothes has become more frustrating. Even though I haven't changed the style of clothing I wear, finding what I like has become way more of a challenge. But I think I've talked about that before on this channel. Try and make sure I'm on camera. I'm sorry if I've gone off at all. But yeah, so eating with the time frame, the time change rather, coming in March, and we're almost at the end of February. So with the time change coming, I figured if I can eat, not like I typically will get up and eat my breakfast between 9 and 10. And then I eat lunch at noon, and then I eat dinner at 5. So I'm thinking if I can pare back, cut some calories, eat my breakfast for lunch, because what I have in my breakfast are some nutrients that help with inflammation and digestion and stuff like that. So if I can eat that at lunch, I usually have some sort of snack in the afternoon and then eat dinner. And that's a lot of food. I mean, I do fast in between you know, I fast about, I don't know, probably 15 to 16 hours. But I need to do better. I need to eat less calories. I need to adjust to the new time change that's coming when we change the clocks again. Anybody else hate the time changing? Do you change the clocks where you live? I know there's parts in Arizona that don't change the clocks. Because I used to know somebody who lived there. And they didn't have to go through the whole daylight savings time and standard, what is it called? Standard, I don't know. I don't even know what they call it. All I know is it's coming up in March and I want to be adjusted and I want to cut down on my meals. So we went and bought kava yesterday. Kava is a sort of localish, it's not across the country, food chain that does, it's very easy to get a vegan plant-based meal there. Let's just put it that way. And lots of veggies, rice, lentils. Yeah, so we bought that and it usually typically lasts 3 days because it's such a big bowl. And Tony eats soup with his lunch. I've mentioned that before too. Soup every day. Doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or 30 degrees outside. He has soup every day with his lunch, which is probably very good. It's a bean. It's like a minestrone. And he's Italian. So beans and potatoes and tomatoes and see, I like that side much better than that side, but that's okay. It's good. And yeah, and he makes it himself and he does a good job. No onion. He doesn't like onion. He'll eat onion when I put it in stuff, but he doesn't love onion. And I can't eat soup if it's hot. It just does me in. So we, let's see. Now, what color do I want to go with? Do I want to go with a blue or a turquoisey? I think I'm just going to make all this blue turquoisey because, you know, why not? Green and turquoise or teal or whatever this color is. Let's see if I can find the ends. Okay. I don't think there's a cut part to that, so we're just going to, I'm going to cut a short section because I have 6 strands here to use up. And I'm only using 2 at a time. Whoop. Okay. Yes, it means I need to rethread my needle, but I can always cut those parts out of the video. Ay, ay, ay. So getting the kava salad is way bigger a lunch than I usually eat. So I told him today that, him being Tony, my husband, that I am going to eat my kava for dinner and just have my breakfast for lunch. So we'll see how this goes. I have to adjust my body and my tummy to it. Sometimes if I don't eat first thing, well, not first thing for me, but if I don't eat in the mornings, I can have some blood sugar issues, and I don't have diabetes. I've been told I don't have diabetes, so it just ends up being my blood sugar. Some days it takes a dive, most days it doesn't, so I should be fine. As long as I eat enough protein the night before. So just getting my tummy not to growl. So I'm hoping to get a video done this morning. Then we have to go out. I have a ginormous, like 33-gallon giant black garbage bag full of clothing that I need to get rid of. I cleaned out my closet a few months ago, and this bag has been sitting in the bedroom. And what I do is I make sure that I'm not going to go in there and get anything, but a lot of the clothes are just way too big on me. And I don't like excessively baggy clothing. I did pull a couple of men's t-shirts out that I had stuck in there, and I made something out of them, but I can't share that with you at this point in time. Just because it's not time yet. And so I'm just going to pop over here and do this kind of dark blue part in this pretty turquoise too. And it'll look a little different because if a little of this fabric shows through, it'll make it look darker. So, what else did I pull out of there? At one point I pulled something else out of there. But other than that, I left it here for like, I don't know, 3 months, maybe 4. Can't remember if I did it during the beginning of winter or back in the fall. But I had a lot of stuff that I just wasn't using. And we've looked and looked and looked for places to donate it to besides Goodwill. I don't really like that organization for donating things to, but unfortunately it's the handiest, most convenient place to donate things to. So it's going today because it has to get out of the bedroom. I need the space. And we continued to talk about the possibility of moving. And there's a lot of things we need to get rid of. I have furniture I need to get rid of and other stuff like that. So I don't know what we're going to do with all of that stuff. Some of it is too heavy for us to move. And the one organization I would like to have come get it says they won't come in the house and get it. It has to either be in the yard or in the garage. And we can't move this furniture by ourselves. It's too heavy for us. We're old. We're not the young whippersnappers we used to be. You go over there. Okay, I think this is my opportunity to tie off this thread here that I did not pull all the way through to the knot. So we will knot it with this thread. Oops, don't pull. Don't pull. So we're going to go do that today after we eat. Now, am I feeling like I could have done a better job on that? Heck yeah. Might it be torn out and done over? I don't think anybody's going to nitpick about it. From, you know, and from far away, it won't look that bad. Let's see. I'm going to pull you out a little bit. Look at that. Dry skin. Annoying. I couldn't make a video yesterday because by the time we got home, we put our groceries away, we ate. The people next door had a lawn service there, and those guys were there for like 6 hours. And the yard is not that big. I don't know what they were doing. They must charge her by the hour. I don't know. But every time they come, it's for like way longer than it needs to be. So I'm going to start this in here. So high-speed leaf blowers. I see a thread. Get rid of that. Don't want to stitch that into this. And I see another thread. I have to show you something in the next Stitch the Season video, you'll want to see the next video because I figured out something really fun that I'm doing with the bunny. Why is this being... Must be the lace below. See, there's 3 layers of fabric that I'm stitching now. And it's become a little trickier. This lace is adding some thickness to the project here, to the wing. But yeah, I went to take out the threads I didn't like in that project, in the bunny that I had started, and it did something that I was like, ooh, I can use that. And it's not like a new technique. However, the way it came out for the bunny is going to be really fun. It's going to take me a while to do it, so I won't do it all on camera, but I'll show you, I'll do some of it and show you how I figured it out and what I am doing to solve sort of an issue with doing it that way. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. Trust me. All right, now I'm going to carry my thread, but before I carry my thread, I'm going to knot it here. I'm just not going to cut it. I know, shame on me. But if I knot it, then I can't, when I pull it over here, I won't be, see, if I pull this, it doesn't pull this down. So if you want to carry your thread, knot it off in the back first. Take that extra step, and it helps not pucker the fabric or pull the fabric together when you're pulling it, or something gets caught on the back that you're not messing up the whole thing. So just a little tip that I learned by my own mistakes, you know. Save yourself the heartbreak of pulling that fabric and finding the puckers after you're done stitching. Okay. All right. Done with the wings. Now the body. And I already pre-chose the beads, so you don't have to sit and suffer through that. You know, not just my channel, but on other channels, I've seen people complain that somebody doesn't show the tutorial of how they did something or the whole steps. I've had someone comment on that on my channel. I saw someone comment on that on Susan's channel, Susie Q Makes. Corinne's gotten some negative comments lately. It's like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Please be kind. There's not enough kindness in the world. Okay. Now, this thread would match that perfectly. However, that's not what we're doing. I have this bead for the head. Now this bead is going to hang weird, so I'm not sure. I don't think I need that. I think that was a leftover. Now, am I using? Yeah, I'm using that one. I think I'm using that one. This bead only attaches at the top. And since this is going on a jacket, I am going to really work hard to, if I was smart, I would just use thread. But, you know, nobody said I was smart. All right, so this bead, you can only go through the top of the bead like that. I hope you can see that. It doesn't have a hole that goes all the way through. So we're going to see how this works and see if I can make it so that it's not sticking out, it doesn't flop around, If it doesn't, if it does, then I'm going to have to figure out a different bead to use. All right, let's see. Can we do this? Oop, not there. I'm close, but no cigar. Okay. Now see, I have no way of laying it down flat, but I want to make sure it's nice and secure. And I don't want it to flop up. Like it could flop up and end like that. It's not what I want. And I have no way of stitching it down really. However, I mean, it would be possible if I wanted to just put a stitch down like that, but I don't know how well that would stay, and it would sort of take away from the nice bead. So I do wish there was another hole at the bottom, but there is not. All right, so I am going to, in case I need to remove that bead, in case there's some doubt later on that that's not going to work, I've stitched it 3 times, and I'm going to knot it off and not continue on to my other beads with the same thread. Because if I have to take that bead off for my own aesthetic reasons, I'm just going to be able to cut that off. All right, now, let's see. Now I didn't plan anything for the center of the body. I have this teardrop shaped bead for the tail. And that's also only got 1 hole in the top of it. Oh my goodness, it doesn't want to lay. Like that. And then I have these tube beads. I know, my big heavy hands are in the way. So I have these tubes. And I could put 4 of those there. Or that center part of the body I could do larger, because that is larger than the tail. But I did not choose a bead for that. So that could go there, and the tubes could go down the tail. Maybe that's what I'll do as well. Decisions, eh? Okay. Make sure I have a solid I'm going to try this teardrop. This teardrop bead on the upper part of the body instead of on the bottom part of the tail. Now this bead hangs the same way. It's going to be tricky to get it to lay flat. Again, I might be able to put 1 stitch across it and not take too much from the bead. See? If you pull too tight, it's going to stand straight up, and that's not what I want. Okay, now I did not come up through the bead. I'm not pulling too tight, but I'm going down through the bead. And I don't know how much you can see. Now that bead is wiggling around. But you know what? That might be kind of an interesting aspect and give the dragonfly a little bit of movement. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with that bead, tie it off. It may seem monotonous, but in case the bead doesn't work out, then I can remove it and put something else in its place. And believe me, I have a ton of green beads. And I looked through them all and couldn't decide on anything else but these beads. So all right, I just have to finish this beading, and then I will let you all, oops, that stinks. I will let you all go do your own things, and I'll be done with all my jabbering and opinions and beading and everything else. Okay, tube. Stitch it down. I'm going to go back up, I think. And go back through. Stitch it down. Now these, I'm using 2 strands of cotton to stitch these on. Might it have been better to use a stronger thread? I don't know, maybe. Could these disintegrate over time? Maybe. I don't know. But as I said, I know the person making the jacket or making this panel for the jacket. It's not like I can't fix it, you know? And then back up through the bead a second time. Back down. And then last bead maybe. I told Tony we were going to eat at 11 and I think it's past 11, so I hear him getting his soup ready. So I need to wrap this puppy up because after lunch we're going out and then coming back home, and I'll try and do another video this afternoon. All I can say is, even though I've been in kind of a unmotivated state, I have been sleeping like a rock. Except for this morning. I woke up at 3 o'clock. Took me till 5 to go back to sleep. I'm going to put one more bead on, even though it'll extend past, come on Martha, even though it'll extend past the actual tail, I think it'll be fun to have one more bead on. Why not? Hopefully I have enough thread to actually do it. And it only extends a little bit. If I didn't put it on, there'd be color showing from the actual fabric, and I don't want that. And I like the 2 beads because they sort of also give movement to the dragonfly, which is kind of fun. Okay, let me do this. It's fun to experiment. It really is. And if you don't like it, you can take it out. Find something else to do with it. Stitch it. Find other beads. Whatever. Whatever floats your own boat, you know? Do what you like. Don't follow somebody else. Do what you like. One more. Make sure those stay on there. Okay. Look at that. Just enough thread. All right, let's see what it looks like. I like it. See how the tail kind of wiggles around? And this moves a little bit. That doesn't move so much, but it's also not sticking up. Now, if I need to, I'll find a way to put this down. I can put a thread over the top of it. But I don't know. It's kind of fun. Zoom in. There it is. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it very much. Have yourself a beautiful day. I hope the sun is shining where you are. Happy crafting. Be kind to yourself and to others. and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned for the fun part of the bunny in the spring Stitch of the Season project. Can't wait to show you. Bye, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.